Hi. Hello, I'm JD. That came off a little creepier than I thought in my head it was gonna go. I said, "Hey," it's a little weird. We'll work on the intros and what intros I want to do and what I think will look better for the freaking stream, because obviously I don't know apparently. So, hi, welcome back to another episode of Talks with Rocks, and I've been feeling really good about it. Um, it's another way for me to get my feelings out. Think of Talks with Rocks like it's another it's another way to vent. It's like a diary, you know? I just can talk about whatever I want. I could be myself. I can just, you know, take a deep breath and feel fucking awesome. So, in today's episode, we are going over the who, what, where, when, all of that about being in the moment and why that's important. How can that help me? How is that supposed to benefit you? Everything in that nature. So let's just get started. I'm working on a freaking transition, but we'll get there. So that's what we have for now. But if you look over to our left, over here where it says about the episode, um, this picture is just obviously it's just a picture I found on Google. It doesn't really mean anything. It's just something that said it, so I put it there. So the description I put: being in the moment can be so rewarding. Enjoying the moments for what they are teach you how to absorb more knowledge and improve our skills. The moment can bring happiness, great happiness, and success. I mean, of course, I fully agree with that. It says, okay, if we go back, it says enjoying the moments as for what they are, as they are, as they come. So say something happens and it doesn't go your way. When it says enjoying the moments for how they are, it means you figure out a way to get through it and overcome it. And, you can look back on this and say, I grew from this situation. But it's not easy to do that. It's really hard to enjoy the moments as they come, even when they're bad, even when they're good. It can be difficult sometimes to just sit back and enjoy the moment. Um, but it's very important to get past that hard spot, like, oh, it's hard, like, oh, boo hoo, now get over it and just enjoy the moment. Find something. Find something around you that, might be surrounding you that could bring a little bit of maybe laughter, joy, etc. Could bring a little something in the moment. Um, but it's very important that it's in the moment and you accept it for what the moment is. You accept your surroundings, you accept who you're with, you accept what's going on. Like, it's extremely important to do that. And we're going to get more into that. But I just really wanted to mention that or pinpoint that. How to absorb more knowledge and improve our skills. So, being in the moment, it gives you an insight of what you need to work on right now. And I know how obvious that might sound, but most people don't really pay attention to that. They don't really listen, etc., whatever the case may be. Um, the knowledge in improving your skills is best done in the moment. It really is, because you can work on what you need to work on now. So say you need to work on something, okay, but you haven't realized that you need or have come to terms of, hey, I need to work on this. And for whatever reason you haven't come to terms with that, okay, say it's fast forward, it's a year from that point, and you haven't, and it's still like oblivious, it becomes truth. It becomes a thing. It becomes, I just don't do that, or I'm just not like that, or it's just part of my personality. When in reality, you could have just been working on it way earlier if you decided to open your eyes and look in the fucking mirror. You get what I mean? You could have, like, within a year, assuming you're working on all of those things, imagine where you're going to be with those same things in the next year. You're going to be so much better at those things if you just stay in the moment, add more knowledge, and improve your skills. It's insanely helpful. It's insanely helpful. No matter what crisis, no matter what emotional crisis, whatever the case may be, it just helps. It helps so much to just be in the moment. So let's go over here under research. So it says, this is what it says. So how does being in the moment help you? Well, present moment awareness over time has also been found to decrease stress and abrupt changes in your mood because you have more control over your thoughts. Plus, learning how to stay present in the moment helps us absorb more knowledge and improve our skills, as I have said before. But it decreases stress and your abrupt mood changes. That might happen more often with, I would say, women. I would just say women, just because, we have periods, we have menstrual cycles, and our hormones go crazy. Scientifically, a bunch of things happen, and, for some women, they're not as in control of their emotions as they could be. But if you just worked on living in the moment, you could be better at that. When women use, oh, I just get really emotional on my period, it's not that they can't do anything about it, because they can. They are fully capable. Every woman is fully capable of making a change, whatever that means for her, especially when it comes to their menstrual cycle. We have control. There is still some sort of control. The only reason for some women they say, I don't know, because they just don't know how to get through it. They don't know how to let out their feelings. They haven't been taught, maybe, I don't know, whatever the case may be. But it's possible to have a menstrual cycle that isn't like killing someone practically. You know what I mean? So yeah, let's proceed to the who, what, where, when, and all of that good stuff when it comes to living in the moment. So what are we talking about? Being in the moment. Who? Humans. Anybody, us, our species, humans. Where? Anywhere, but mostly when alone. Why did I put that? I put that because being in the moment it's a big deal, but I personally believe, in my opinion and from my experience, when you are in the moment, when you're alone, I feel like that's way more beneficial. So say you can't, or say you're not quite there living in the moment every second of every day, you know what I mean? Maybe you're working on it. I would recommend starting with being alone. Like whenever you're alone, practice being in the moment. You know what I mean? But that's my opinion. You can do it anywhere with anyone at any time, obviously. But that's just one I recommend, especially if you just can't do it right off the bat. Maybe you have a bunch of things, but when you have a bunch of things going on in your life, that is living in the moment. When you have kids, when you have, when you're on a date, whenever you're focused on something, that is living in the moment. So if you already do that, then you know what I mean? You're probably better at living in the moment than I am. You know what I mean? This is usually more towards people, humans that are just alone most of the time, or just don't have many things to do, or they're bored of life for whatever reason. There's like a million different reasons for that. I'm just naming a couple. But I still recommend live as much in the moment as you can when you're by yourself. It helps. When all the time, if possible, if you are able to live in the moment every second of every day, then I recommend doing that. Just because, it's just amazing. You not only get more knowledge and regulate your moods, but doing that makes you more equipped with what to do next. Like, you will be more prepared for whatever than somebody who's in their head all day. You know what I mean? Like, if there was a zombie apocalypse, okay, I'm probably picking people that like live in the moment, or in my opinion, do that. You know what I mean? Or in my opinion, do that. So, okay, why? So this is probably the big reason. This is the big moment. Why is living in the moment a big deal? Why is all of this a big deal? Why does this even matter? I'm sure what you're thinking. Like I usually say, why does this even matter, JD? Well, being present and exerting your ability to be mindful not only makes us happier, it can also help us deal with pain more effectively, reduce our stress, and decrease its impact on our health, and improve our ability to cope with negative emotions like fear and anger. I know that was a lot of words, but it's absolutely amazing. I have to read it again. Being present and exerting our ability to be mindful not only makes us happier, it can also help us deal with pain more effectively, reduce our stress, and decrease its impact on our health, and also improve our ability to cope with negative emotions, fear, and anger. So amazing. Like, if you have issues with negative emotions, fear, anger, if you have health problems, I mean, like, if you have any of those issues, doing this is not only free, is not only free, but it will help you. Like, literally help you physically, it'll help you mentally, it'll help you be more prepared. I mean, like, there are so, and everything you're scared of, things you get mad at, if you hold grudges. I mean, this is a huge thing to really master, really. If you have being in the moment mastered, then I don't know why you're here in this podcast, but then kudos to you. That's awesome. That's awesome. Am I saying it's like the perfect life to live? No. That looks different for everybody. Everybody has their own life that they want to live and thing that they want to experience. Um, but and it's extremely helpful and has been extremely helpful for me. And I've just been dealing with, I mean, I would say typical stress for most people. Having a child is stressful. It's amazing. It's amazing. But having a child is stressful in general. Raising a child is stressful. Um, and that's a lot. And I'm learning every single day. I'm learning every single day to be more selfless than selfish. And it's really hard. It's really hard, extremely emotional, because you have to put your needs and your wants aside. Especially, even in the moments where maybe they need to be looked at the most, and you still have to choose to put that aside, to put somebody else before yourself. And it's an amazing quality to have. But doing this, living in the moment, will help you get there. So right now, right here, I have this how to live in the moment definition and tips. So this is a list of different things you can try that will help you. A lot of these have helped me. I will read some of them. I'm not going to read all of them. Try mindfulness meditation. Meditating is a good one. Try not to let your mind wander. Try not to get in your head too much. I know that sounds like, that's like try not to blink. You know what I mean? For some people, including myself, that can be kind of difficult. But don't let your mind wander. As soon as you catch it, as soon as you catch yourself wandering about whatever, It doesn't matter. Just wandering about the same thing. Catch it. As soon as you do, stop it and focus on what's around you. Look around you and do something right now. Whether that be laundry, whether that be just chores, whether that be cooking, whether that be spending time with your child, whether that be whatever the case, whatever's around you, do something, because that's extremely important to stop that. I do that all the time. So whenever you catch it, oh, okay, like, oh, let me put my glasses on, you know what I mean, blah blah blah. Like, that was an example, but yeah, I love that one. That's a good one. Try the raisin exercise. The raisin exercise involves using all five senses to explore a raisin. Jesus Christ. You can try that. That's an option. I have not tried that. Pando's hungry. Panda's this new pet that I have that I'm never going to take care of. Well, I'm going to try not. It's hard. It's hard. I already have a pet. Practice gratitude. Be grateful. Gratitude is thought to be an orientation towards noticing and appreciating the positive things in the world. Gratitude is strongly related to the well-being, and it can't exist without first living in the present moment. You can't even have gratitude. You know what I mean? That's what that's even saying. Gratitude is strongly related to well-being, and it can't exist without first living in the present moment. It is so important to be in the present moment because that's where you can experience gratitude. That is very true. And I can link this. I can link this in the description if anybody wants to go over this, because a lot of these are extremely helpful. Forgive yourself and others. Forgiveness is not an easy thing to do, but we want to be more present, and it could be more helpful. So for me, I just need to forgive my mom. But it's hard because I don't exactly know what I'm forgiving. You know what I mean? I don't, like if she were to sit down and apologize to me, I don't think I would feel anything. You know? I don't think I would feel anything. But the point is, this tension that I have about my mom, that is stopping me from living in the moment more often, because I wander and I have a hard time, forgiving people for doing me wrong, whether that be a friend, whether that be whatever the fuck it is. Like, if somebody has done me wrong, I have a very hard time forgiving people, and that prevents me from living in the moment a lot more. And that's, my issue. That's just an example. But that's an issue that I have to work on. Taking less personal offense, blaming the offender less, offering more understanding of the offender. So trying to understand more, like, hey, my mother has a mental condition. Try not to blame her so much as I have overcome things to become a better person. Taking less personal offense. Stop taking so much personal offense. Maybe she was fully selfish. She didn't even think of me when she did it. It has nothing to do with me. It was just a choice that she decided to make. These things help a lot. Obviously, you can see that I do these things for the most part. Oh. Why is that so freaking loud? It's like hella loud. But yeah, it is offering more understanding of oneself, just trying to understand where you're coming from in your own mind is also very important. Stop. That's a big word. Stop ruminating. A mode of responding to distress that involves repeatedly and passively focusing on symptoms of distress and on the possible causes. Okay, so, that's just going down in the, a vortex kind of thing again. You go down this rabbit hole once again of just hating, yourself or hating a situation, and just don't let your mind wander off into that as much, or try not to. Or as soon as you catch it, tamp down worries. Just as we're ready to focus on your worries, focus on our attention on the future. Often we spend the present thinking about all the bad things that could happen, but when we do this, we not only waste time worrying about bad things that might not even occur, we miss out on the good things happening in the present moment. So while you're off wandering off into la la land, you could be experiencing a donut that you just bought, or whatever the case. That's an example. Instead of wandering off in my mind about, how this person, made me really upset and hurt my feelings, I could be spending the moment, in the present moment, with my daughter, which is way more worth my time, It's really, at the end of the day, what are you going to choose to put your time into, and are those things worth it? And that's a whole experience, and that's person to person. Everybody does that task differently for themselves and has different opinions on how you should go through it. So I'm not here to tell you how to do it. I'm just telling you how I do it. But yeah, that's a good one. Try box breathing. Just breathing in general. This is, it says an example here you can read, but breathing in general helps me get back into the present moment, like, a lot. So as soon as I get overworked or overwhelmed for whatever reason, I do that. I try to do it 2 times or 3 times, but it's extremely helpful as well, putting me right back into the moment, right where I need to be. Try the body scan meditation. You can do that. Bring attention to your body, close your eyes, and shift from the origin of the body to the next, paying attention to any sensations you notice. Okay, I see. That's cool. Interesting. And you can check all of these out. So, in conclusion, what are we talking about? What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? Well, we've just been talking about being in the moment and why that's important, how to do it, who, what, where, when, all of those things that could help you be in the moment more often if you are looking to be in the moment more often. Some people aren't looking for that, and that's cool. So you don't have to be. That's the best part about it. You will at some point. At some point you will, but everybody's different. So in conclusion, being in the moment, humans can do it anywhere, but I recommend doing it more when you're alone. It's extremely helpful. All the time if possible. If not, try doing it more when you're alone. That's a good moment to do it. Being present and exerting our ability to be mindful not only makes us happier, but it decreases our impact, our stress, and the decrease on our health, and also with negative emotions, fear, and anger. So with that in conclusion, what can I leave you with? Try being in the moment more often. Try having a little gratitude for what you have rather than what you don't. Try having a little bit more gratitude for, who might be here, and instead of who's not here. Because at the end of the day, you are in control of what you put your energy and your time and your everything, because your time should matter to you. If your time does not matter to you, then it probably doesn't matter to anybody else's. Be very strategic about who deserves your time, your presence, your everything. You know what I mean? Not even just in a relationship way, but just being in the moment. And that also means for yourself. Just be in the moment with you, me, myself, and I. And if you like to read, read. It's a great way to do it too. If you want to listen to music, listen to music. Like, do something to where you're not in your head, even when you get bored. It really might help you. So, that was my 2 cents. And I love you guys, and I will be back. I can't tell you exactly when. I don't know for sure, but I will be back for another episode eventually. I love you guys. I'm gonna be coming back with a whole new series. You guys have just watched my series. I didn't name the series. I think Desire to Inspire. You have been watching Desire to Inspire, My Hero Academia, Shark Tank, Silence, and Living in the Moment. These 4 episodes are on my YouTube if you want to go watch them, and these are it is really my desire to inspire you, and I hope that helps.